Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think we are in the last session. Better, I thought, let me not use the PPT what I have prepared whole night yesterday, assuming I'll have a long session. But still, I'm sure I can recollect certain points there. This topic is fostering excellence on engineering and management education. Let us just leave management education because which normally comes after graduation. That's a different ball game. When you look at engineering education, it is more important that school crowd should have been sitting here. Because the problem what industry say as employability skill is not there among the students when they come out of graduation, specifically in the engineering college segment. They don't tell about their technology skills or their domain skills, what they acquire in their engineering. They mostly tell about their communication skill or their soft skill, which is basically the life skills what we all call. And that is exactly given or to be given right from the school. If somebody is not able to learn a communicative English right from his class 1 to class 12, having spent 12 years with English as a subject, learning step by step, grammar, all sort of literatures, etc., etc., suddenly changing him in a period of 3 to 4 years while he is in engineering to have a good English communication, that has been found difficult in engineering education. And most of the industry people will agree with me, most of them do not fail in their careers because of technology or the domain skills. It is because of their soft skills. You go to any college or you go to any campus hiring manager of any large company, they will tell this reason. They will say all of your students are good technically, but they are not able to talk. They are not able to present themselves. They are not able to work in a team. They are not able to adapt to the culture what we are going to set. So these are the skills, ideally it should come right from school. Today, that can change only when the success measure of the school changes. Today, we know people were talking about earlier session. No, I'm just taking few leaf out of earlier session. 2 points. One is, people were talking about the Kendra Vidyalayas and the few schools where the panelists represented some large brand names. But a huge crowd, a 70% crowd, come from the government schools. And we are not talking about those schools at all, because that's where most of us would have come from in our earlier stages. So my only point for that session is we have to give focus on schools when we talk about excellence in higher education, that too specifically in the technical education. The second point from the earlier session, the school people, the school panelists from the school segment, we're talking teachers are not there. But we are aware there are MEds and BEds and teacher training institutes which develops teachers to go and teach in schools. But whereas in engineering, I am sure our Professor Sargesh, the Vice Chancellor of Hindustan University, will agree with me, who is coming to teach in an engineering college? Is he a teacher? Is he coming with all teaching skills or education management skills? Not at all. He has technically studied a BE engineering, then he would have done an ME engineering, aspiring for a career in the domain, in the industry. Somewhere, his track is changed and he will end up in an engineering to teach. And even though there are certain institutions like National Technical Teacher Institute and various other institutions, but it is not mandatory. And because of the number of colleges at least in South India, considering Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu has got the highest enrollment ratio with highest number of engineering institutions, where are these faculties from? They are again back from the same college. So what are we doing with this issue? So the problem of the skills will have to start from the schools. The solution has to start from the schools. The problem of a good teacher is remaining in the higher education system. We have very good teachers, but the number is very minimal. Most of the new colleges will be able to hire only new teachers. The new teachers are mostly last year ME pass outs. They are good technology guys. How will they go and teach? Do they know classroom techniques? Do they know pedagogy? Do they know how to handle a board? All these are trained with a 1 week training program, 2 weeks training program. That is not possible when a school teacher who is going to teach for a government school class 1 to class 5 has studied a BEd, MEd, and again in a government school there is an entrance examination they will have to pass. After so much of filtering, that teacher has come and he or she is coming and teaching. So this is the point which I would like to mention. Until otherwise we look up faculty as an important entity and work all our strategies towards a faculty, then we can't excel in our engineering education, specifically in engineering education. Now, a few days back, when we were working with one university, I was there. One of our board of studies member was asking a group of students in final year BE Computer Science, what do you want to become? What do you want after this? No one told they wanted to become a teacher. Everybody said, no, I want to work in Infosys, I want to work in Google, I want to go and work in Apple, etc., etc. Not even a single guy told, I want to become a teacher. So what will be the scenario after 2-3 years? Now, because of this booming jobs and many companies are coming, we are happy, economy is growing, everything is happening. What will happen to engineering education even after 2-3 years? Where will these, if he's a good faculty, they are also hired by some industries, they are again moving to industry. So that is the area of concern where most of us will have to agree and work towards it. Keeping this in mind, Government of Tamil Nadu, Government of India and CIS came forward to start up an entity called ICT Academy. That's what I am representing from. But this is one of the unique PPP model where Government of India is recognized and it is there for the past 3 years. And this academy works with only objective of empowering teachers in the higher education system, specifically in the ICT streams. Why ICT streams? That is the only stream where the teacher has to be dynamic and very good, because the student will be more dynamic. And the teachers are a good technocrat or a good technology person coming out of a computer science or IT will have 100 opportunities. So lot of problems are there in the ICT streams. So with that context, industries come forward, industries understood the teacher will make a difference, specifically in the higher education system. So we have taken an exercise where corporates are coming forward. Top 12 corporates have come, Cognizant, TCS, Microsoft, Intel. They have joined hands with Government of Tamil Nadu. Government of India, the Department of IT has invested on this. This PPP model is created for the past 3 years, and so far we have trained or empowered or enlightened close to 7,000 faculties in the state. When I say 7,000, no, it may be alarming, but we have a pool of around 1 lakh teachers in the state of Tamil Nadu, putting together private or government, all institutions put together, there are 1 lakh teachers. We were able to touch only 7,000. We may not be able to make an impact today, but we will be able to make an impact in the future. Our model is, when we are talking about skill development, when we are talking about empowering a student, when we are talking about giving a value-added course to a student, giving a vocational education, all these things, the organization where I represent say that our philosophy is it has to go through the faculty. You can't directly give it to some number of students. Any government scheme which comes through us will go through a faculty. In the process, we are developing certain number of faculties for the future. If we are going to directly touch certain number of students, it ends with this year. Next year, a new set of students will come. So year on year, this exercise has to be done, and it will never be scalable. With a country like ours, with a huge population of students and growing enrollment ratios, government or anybody cannot do skilling for every student by putting additional resources or creating a parallel line with the education system. Our faculty should be empowered, our faculty should be recognized, that too specifically in the higher education system, the faculty should be rewarded and done everything such a way that that faculty becomes the center of that particular college. When we go to, again, one more point, last time when I went to a college, again I asked a college set of students in a classroom, who is your role model? Normally anybody will ask, when they do any kind of session. And almost 70 to 80% of the students said, it is my teacher. If you are in higher education system, you may think, no, it's a teacher, but only thing is, the point is, they said it is not the college teacher, it is the school teacher. The school teacher is still remembered as one of their role model because they have made an impact over the students. Even though they have completed this 4 year of engineering education, they still remember a school teacher as a role model. That kind of role model teachers has to be created or has to be developed in the higher education system. Imagine every college has some 50 to 100, no, 50 to 60 good teachers. Whatever parameter you put for a good teacher, imagine every college works only with that motto of developing good teachers. There ends all our problem. Without this, whatever we do, whatever we talk, infrastructure, building, etc., nothing is going to change, because the student life will depend upon his faculty, whom he is going to be there around for that 4 years. And faculty will only make the difference of creating excellence, specifically in the engineering education, where we have a big problem today on this skill gap between industry and academia. So with these thoughts, thank you very much for the chairperson and the chair members for this.